everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Tonight we are going to do a 4-card pick with Are They Thinking About Me? And right before I start, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I know there's lots of opportunities to see several different kinds of readers out there, and I really appreciate with you guys and especially my loyal viewers that have been there from day one, and your awesome comments and our dialogues we get to share every day. So beautiful. I really enjoy it. I took a break and I just went for a walk in our local bird sanctuary right up the road, and it was really windy and beautiful, and the sky and everything was the most beautiful divine colors. It was exactly like this and that combined. It was all rich reds and oranges, because in New England right now all the leaves are changing. So the leaves were red and bright yellow right on the shoreline, and then you had all the blues of the water, and then it was purple over in Long Island, and then the sunset was bouncing off the glass windows, so it was electric orange on one side. It looked like a crazy beautiful light show, and it was so invigorating and grounding and balancing. It was amazing, and it was like really helpful to get my equilibrium back, because I was actually, you ever just, you're doing what you do, you're in an office, and all of a sudden you just feel like you're having anxiety attacks because you need to be outside and you need to ground and you need to be in nature. We need to take breaks and take care of ourselves. So I really want you guys to really, if you feel at any time you're in your home or you're anywhere and you just feel like that buildup coming on, any anxiety, or you feel irritable, just go to a window and look out, or go step outside and just let the oxygen and fresh air in, and it'll be really helpful to you. So again, thank you everybody for donating to the channel, and just your comments and just participating. It's so wonderful. You guys really, it's so nice to, when you just work in a certain area for so long and people are so gloominess, doom, and you're like, where's my tribe? Where are all the good people? Where are the people that care about others, and they care about love and prosperity and illumination and joy and expansion and art and all that stuff? And that's you guys. You're my love community, and I love just being in contact with you and being able to provide you guys with these fun videos, because you watch them because there's something else. We're all love, light, and energy, and we're all connected, and we're all trying to improve on our lives, our success, our connections, our love, our spirituality, and also the fact that we're all learning and we're all elevating and ascending and going to new levels. And it can be frightening if we don't know what's up or are people to connect with that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know for a while what the constant ringing in my ears was, and I thought I had a hearing problem. And then, it's like I'm in contact with this community. Now I know. It's like it's our guides. It's their way to warn us, connect with us, all those things. So we all go through all these rhythms and just phases, and it's so nice to be able to check in with each other. I love it because it's exquisite. It's part of our life that's making us elevate, but we have to be careful not to exhaust ourselves or try to rush into everything to get all the answers. You know what I mean? Our guides and our angels and each other, we're all providing each other with our answers, and at a rate in which we can accept them and expand with them, because in being in our human form, we only have so many capacities, right? We have to eat, we have to rest, all those things, and we don't want to suffer burnout, especially with all the cool holiday seasons coming up, right? Yeah, man. I was just watching John Mulaney. Is one of my favorite stand-ups, and me and my son we crack up every time we watch him, and I love him because he's almost like a 1940s, 1950s gentleman, and he's very formal, but he's hilarious at the same rate, and I love him so much. So anyway, I know, look at my tweed blazer. I am too much, I tell you. I was so cold, and I just leave bits and jackets all over the place in the house, and I'm too lazy, honestly, to go in a closet and dig anything out. What is on the chair is what I put on, hence the fur vest last night. I really am. I lay little outfits around just in case, because I can't be bothered to dig and climb over things and then get in the back of the studio closet, and it's like, no, whatever is there. So I'm going to be out with my hounds later and smoking a pipe if you want to join me. Like, what? With my cravat. Insane. Okay, so what the reading about tonight is going to be, it's going to be about, are they thinking of me? Because right now I feel the energies are all swirling and they're everywhere, and everybody's connecting on all these different levels. So let's find out. Number 1 is going to be the Eagle. Number 2 is going to be the Journey. Number 3 is going to be the Earthkeeper. Look at those colors. These were the exact colors of the sunset down the beach right now and in the bird sanctuary. And it was just amazing. All you could hear was the birds and the animals. So beautiful. The Gatherer. This color scheme is so New England this time of year with the greens and the golds and the oranges, and everything's like pumpkin color and spice color. And I love any of those fall spices, right? The allspice, clover, any of those. I just love them. I could just sit all day. Yeah, clove is probably one of my favorite smells, scents. And a while ago when I was having a toothache, Ian went and just got me oil of cloves at the store. And I'm serious, if you ever have a toothache, nothing works faster than that. But you should dilute it with another oil, probably olive oil, definitely, because it can almost be caustic and feel like it burns. It's very strong, but nothing takes care of a toothache like clove oil. It's amazing. It saved my life so many times. So let's see if they're thinking about you. We're going to start with the eagle right now. I love these. So we're going to use these. We'll use some new cards in case you guys watch the other the other video. I like to switch up the cards. And this is another thing that's a little aggravating. We started setting up the studio and getting all the lights and stuff. What happens, it restricts other areas, drawers and things that I have, like a lot of my cards. And so yeah, it's like I don't want to get hung up on little things anymore, nor should you. You know what I mean? If you're just thinking what you don't have, you're not concentrating on the 12 decks I do have, you know what I mean? Or, oh, if I only had this, then it would complete that. We always have more than enough, and as long as we're thinking of things in that aspect, we're going to do well. So let's see. I like a nice mix of stuff. So let's see. Are they thinking of you? The wheel, beautiful. Look at the wheel on this one. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? Those beautiful brushed, quiet tones. Ooh, in the world. Oh, this one's the Ace of Pentacles. Nice. Yeah, my brain is like, without my glasses, I could see the Seven of Wands. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Are they thinking of you? Now, this can be your crush, the person that you're thinking about, that you have a vague notion or a very crystalline vision of. Either one. Are they thinking of you? And then I'll also tell you if I get a message of what they thinking they are. Need and necessity. Okay, I like to start off with an oracle card. And this is just what I was saying right now. Remember, like, the wish list. The one thing that's missing is like, oh, if that cupboard wasn't blocked off, I'd have access to these cards and that. And then I started thinking about that. And then I literally started going down the rabbit hole going, oh, if I could have these colors and vibrancy in the read, it would be perfect. And I honestly was thinking my most beautiful sacred cards as like old news, you know what I mean? When I love these and I cherish everything about them, but you know, it's that one thing where it's almost like a contagion in your mind. When you think something is lacking, it then skips on that. Then everything you already have is awful. It's very, very weird. And we should never, we should never ever think that. I always, number one thing that's making all our manifestations and making everything happen is the fact that we have gratitude. That I am so grateful for all these cards that I do have. I'm very lucky. I know some beginners that have one deck and they're like dog-eared and they use them to death. So always about gratitude, because once we start to get a sense of entitlement or taking things for granted, that's when the universe starts pulling back a little bit on our gifts, right? It's that proverbial cookie that your mom makes you that you throw on the floor that you don't want because it's not chocolate chip, it's oatmeal. You know what? She's not going to make you any more cookies. The universe isn't going to give us any more prizes when we think like that, right? So need and necessity, really think about that when you wake up and you think, oh, I really need to go to the grocery store and get new groceries. Look in your refrigerator and really see what ingredients you have and if you can use those. That's another thing I'm guilty of. If it's so far back in the end of the refrigerator, I'm like, I am not digging through that atrocious mess. There's no way in hell. That all looks like hot Chinese garbage. I would rather eat the cat food. You know what I mean? You like start this inner struggle that doesn't need to be there. So part of that is, and I feel like a lot of you really are, you're hitting the refresher button with that, and you're realizing, come on, man, I've got more than enough of anything I'm ever going to need. Why am I even thinking like this? Yeah, you're definitely hitting a refresh button. So let's see if they're thinking about it. Yeah, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, here's the thing. You're becoming elevated in their eyes too. I don't know if recently what you've been doing, stepping up your game verbally, being a little more connective with them, making eye contact, talking to them, texting them. I feel like a lot of this is over social media and Instagram and things like that. And they're really looking at your pictures and really checking you out from afar. I feel like a lot of these people, I feel like they feel like you kind of have an elevated status and they're afraid of the approach. A lot of this is greatly on social media where they are following you like almost Stalkerville, but just with mass appreciations. They think you're gorgeous. They think you're interesting. They just are liking you. They really do. They think you're beautiful. And again, sometimes that's how people operate. They can operate from afar, and then sort of that's how they build their courage to be able to connect with people. Because so many people have anxieties and fears. And like I said, that's my tribe. I love those people because I've never experienced that. I've never really in a day in my life experienced any hesitation to go talk to someone, speak with somebody, get up on a podium and start talking. I've always just felt like I could get up and be an orator in front of 1,000 people. It would not bother me. You know what I mean? I don't have a fear of rejection. I just don't have that. I don't know why that is, but I am glad because sometimes, and I'm never embarrassed. I mean, even if I fall down flat, I'll lay down on the ground where I fell down and start laughing. Like I don't have the embarrassment gene. I'm so glad because I know a lot of people, that's why they restrict their actions because they're embarrassed. So I feel like that's a few of the people that are watching you. They have, a great deal of them are a little insecure, and also they want to come across as so suave and together that they are almost afraid to show their hand of who they really are. And these people deserve compassion because I love when people, you know, they need a little calming voice and a little help to say, you know what, it's fine to be you. Nobody's here to be perfect. I'm the most impatient person I know. In fact, it's like I feel bad for Ian once we finish these videos. If I want to see them and see how things are cut, paste, and what's going on, I'm like, is it ready? Is it ready? It'll literally be 2 minutes later. So again, and some of the other people that it's where it's not involved in social media, 7 of Wands, I feel like they're thinking of you, but they haven't really gotten approached because they're fighting off family members, workmates, things like that, in the form of they're being very defensive because people are coming at them. And there's a competitive atmosphere, and they feel like they have to defend themselves, and it's making them angry because it's just people that are bored, angry, lonely, tired that are coming at them, and they just want a reaction. So this person that is watching you and thinking of you, they're busy in that aspect of trying to shield themselves from just people. Also, you know how sometimes people on the internet, because they're not face to face, they're like they're called trolls. They just bark and bite, and they think it's interesting because they're incognito and nobody knows who they are. They're dealing with some of that too. But again, when I see the Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel, I feel that an approach is imminent for some of these people that are watching you as well, because they think the world of you, and they think you are just the end all be all and super fine, but they have a little bit of anxiety about it. So if you see anybody sort of watching you in the periphery or whatever, just smile at them and be inviting, you know, just be your normal, because I feel like a lot of you are uninhibited spirits and you're really, you know, fun, funky people, and you like to have a good time, and you're very down to earth and you're very authentic, and you would love that. You would love for them to come up. So let's get you an oracle card too. Yeah, I find sometimes that can be you'll notice it too. You watch, you'll see, yeah, I'm hearing, you'll see people come to approach you, and then they'll just all of a sudden do like a 180 and they'll go in the opposite direction, or they'll get a look will cross their face because they'll realize they have your undivided attention. That's something else that makes somebody fearful. They don't mind if you're sort of half listening in their phone, because they feel like what they're saying is diluted, so you're not going to listen verbatim word for word and be judging it. So they feel safe behind that safety net of just the occasional glance up. So when you stop what you're doing and you give them undivided attention, it makes them nervous. The never-ending story. Yeah, that is the never-ending story, isn't it? Like crush, and then over debating in their head, then trying to approach you, and then it's like what every film is, when that person loves that cheerleader, or loves that person in their office, or loves them and has this unrequited love, but has this fear of approaching them. It really is. It's that when pertaining to this sort of scenario, that's the meaning of that it will perpetuate and keep going unless you're the one who is the object of affection gives a substantiated yes or no for the approach. You know what I mean? You're going to know what's going on, so be like, look up, and then either if you're interested in somebody else, make that known by having it fall into the conversation, right? That'll always help. So that's you guys. Yeah, definitely a lot of people on the internet and stuff watching you and curious about you and what you're doing, and they love your little snippets that you're showing. They find you really interesting and everything. So that's beautiful. So if that's you guys, if you were the eagle, don't forget to like and subscribe and press the little bell so you can get the notifications when the videos come up. And my links are all right down below for everything for private reads and all the information that you could want. So next we're going to go on to the journeyman. The journeyman. Oh yeah, I gotta slow my roll, because when we went out to the park, I only had like a couple bites of quinoa, and we were walking around, and we got to like 1.8 miles. All of a sudden my blood sugar went boom. You ever do that? Like you haven't had enough food or sugar, and all of a sudden it's like your arms feel tingly and weak, right? You feel like you couldn't lift something very light, and then they feel a little numb. Then I felt like, wow, I don't even know if I'm going to make it back to the car. It was scary. And my husband and son were so cute. Like my son put his arm around me, and then we came in, and he's like, just sit down on the couch, Mom, I'll make you some vegetable patties. And then Ian got me a drink, and they were all so sweet, because I rarely do that. I usually take fairly good care of myself, but not usually as much with food, because I'm just a space addict with that. I think, oh, well, we're going to go for this walk. It's only going to be a couple minutes. But as you exert and burn those calories, if you don't have enough, you can crash. Yeah, it was scary. I was like, whoa. That hadn't happened in a while. Not since I was doing martial arts and I'd overdo it. You know what I mean? But it's a scary feeling, because you don't feel like your legs are going to hold you up. And you're like, oh, this can't be great. This can't be super good. One of these, one of those. Yeah. So let's see. Who is thinking of me? Or are they thinking of me? 10 of Swords. Nine of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. Okay, huge swathe of you guys. Huge swathe of you. 75%. These are exes. These are exes thinking of you and mulling over the past. And now, of course, because it's holiday season, this is heavily due for a lot of Americans, because Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. They're missing you. They're missing the traditions you shared together. They're missing the fact that you used to give them really cool, thoughtful gifts. They're missing the fact that they got on with your family, or you created that family for them around this time of year. It's nostalgia. It's that, but it's also true love and of who you were. And a lot of these people, they messed it up. They left you. They cheated on you. They messed up, and you didn't accept them back. And now they're nostalgic, and they feel bad because they have to carry the weight of it now. They have to carry the 10 of Swords all over the place, a heavy load, the emotional burden that they did you wrong, and they really did. And now they're trying to, their friends are like, oh, why aren't you still with Melissa? Why are you not still with Karen? Why aren't you still with Emily? What's going on? And them having to defend what they did, and now they're releasing it. They're letting it go and realizing they were wrong. So because of that, they feel like they're having a refresher course, and they feel like they want to get in touch with you and explain and ask forgiveness. A great deal of these people, they want to ask for forgiveness because they're coming to self-actualizations that of course they were wrong, and they can't believe that they didn't admit, and it went into torrents of arguments and defense for no reason. And you also have other people, again, on the internet, Instagram. You're looking like sparkly, shiny, happy people out there doing things and showing your artwork, showing your beautiful photography skills, all those things, and you have outsiders admiring that in some of your follows and stuff, and they would like to meet you personally. That's really cool. Be patient. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, you've been waiting for the approach of a soulmate or a twin flame, because you feel it. You feel all the anticipatory nerves, all the anticipatory energy, all the signs. You're starting to see crazy synchronicities. So your patience is starting to wear, but this is where it has to be the most. You have to utilize your patience the most, because again, when you stop that, your blockages are going to start. When you're like, when, that's telling the universe, I don't have. Hence your dominant thought. That's what you're going to lack mentality. That's what the universe is hearing. So when you're patient, when you say, I have all the time in the world, then that's actually what you feel like you have, because what you do have, and time spreads out and it's linear. You have space. You don't feel a lack of, and stuff just starts being ushered in, because you believe it. That's all the magic it takes, is that you believe it. You have time for it. You have time to wait for it. You're not in any kind of jeopardy because it hasn't arrived. You're not in any kind of lack. You're not in any kind of sorrow. In fact, the people that have done wrong to you right now, they are all going through terrible guilt phases. They really are, and they want to connect with you, and they want to contact you and let you know that they're sorry and that they miss you. A huge, huge chunk of you guys for sure. And again, I feel like some of these people on Instagram, Facebook, some exes, people like that, they're gonna be getting in touch with you and asking you, oh, how are you doing? It'll start like that type of thing, and then progress as far as you would like it, because you're the captain of this whole ship for sure. But again, just being patient. Let's pull you an oracle card. Yeah, because basically it's like, what happens when somebody just, when there's a breakup, right? People, there was a blame game like nobody's business that continually goes on with that, because people get defensive if they start, each person starts to use the language of you always, you never, extremes, right? That causes defensism. Then reality is blown out of proportion, because nobody ever always does anything. Nobody never anytime does anything. You know what I mean? That doesn't even make sense. But that's, extremes start to come into it. Phrases like, you never cared about me, I never cared about you, whatever that is. Extremes, again, that are untruths, and then it sets the whole reality off of skew, and then nobody makes sense anymore. And I know when it comes to Ian too, half the time I never try to begin a debate with him, because his whole life, it has to be like, and my daughter's like this, getting the last word, and when that happens, it's just an exhausting process. So nobody should ever really even be engaged in that. So let's see, blessed, yeah. This too, this time of year, and you're going to feel it very shortly when Jupiter's moving right into Sagittarius. I said Saturn last time, I meant Sagittarius. Yeah, when those planets are just crashing into each other. Yeah, when Jupiter comes into Sagittarius, that is the house of gifts. That is the house of giving. That is the house of receiving our messages, our blessings, everything. And we're starting to show more and more gratitude, and really feel it internally, and really communicate that externally. So it's just starting this vortex of giving and receiving and balance, and then blessings. It's just gonna, your blessings are gonna come in, and because you're so receptive, lovely, and thankful for them, they're just gonna keep coming. And also Jupiter in Sagittarius is just like, it's just making it rain everything. Yeah, you're gonna be the center of attention in a lot of places, and you're not gonna be uncomfortable around it, which is great. You know what I mean? People are gonna love to be around you. They're gonna want to talk to you. You'll see expectant faces want to come near you. They'll be excited to see you. Revel in it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like everybody is given their time, and it's your time, which is beautiful. So if you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe, and press the little notification button, the bell, so you'll get notification of all the new videos. And all my links are down below for private reads and the Etsy store and everything else. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. So next we're going to move on to the Earthkeeper. My throat, it's weird. It goes, Ian has this great pink lemonade, but it's like there's some kind of chalkiness to it, and every once in a while you're like, ah. Okay, so the Earthkeeper. So are they thinking of me? Tell you, holiday time, it is an absolute torment for some people to be single, to just have broken up, to just being experiencing new dates. Here's why: because you're like, oh, how is the family going to get on with that? How is you know, especially if you have big families, brothers and sisters. I know with all my brothers, I was like, oh yeah, bringing a guy home was real fun. And my mom, who was just like Bette Midler as well. I remember Andy, his name, I'm not kidding you, his name was Andy Hornberger, and he looked just like Billy Idol. And I'm not sure what my mom said, but I think she called him an utter idiot that should stop trying to look like Billy Idol. And there's me standing there getting ready. I think it was our second date, and he was a radio talk show host, and he thought she was kidding because she always had that grin, you know, and we look alike, and she had this grin, and he was like, I go, please God, don't let him say, is she kidding? Because then all hell is going to break loose. But he didn't. He just smiled nervously, and thank God he thought it was a joke. And I was like, when I got home later that night, I'm like, Mom, you can't say that. That's terrible. And I was doing everything I couldn't to laugh because he emulated himself as Billy Idol, but it was a little, and he looked quite a bit like him, but it was just so uncomfortable. And you're feeling like that, like, oh my God, can I bring this person to my home? What is my family gonna act like? Yeah, it's nerve central, right? Because you get people, too much turkey, too much wine, too much adrenaline. And this season, again, I told you, it's going to be exaggeration. It's going to be outright lies. It's going to be competition for the podium for people to speak. It's going to be cataclysmic in a lot of ways. But if you just sit back and see it for the comedy it is, you're going to have a good time. If you feel like you have to engage, correct, or modify anything, pooh, it's all going to blow up. That's why I'm just waiting for the games to begin. Ooh, nice. 4 of Cups. Yeah, I'm not going to sweat the season at all. Ooh. You know, I need my glasses. This is really weird. I'm going to show you this and you'll be like, what? Oh, okay. So Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's everything so ghostly and light that I was like, I feel like I can't see anyway. Okay, so yeah, with Ace of Swords, 4 of Cups. Ooh, I like this. Are they thinking about Judgment? Ooh, a couple of you guys get to give somebody the old heave ho. So your oracle message is nourish the soul. 100%. I want you guys as much as you can to be watching tarot that lifts you up, people that give you peace of mind, people that know you have energy, light, and guidance all around you that's helping you. The voices that soothe and help you. I don't want you watching the news with the disasters going on all over the world, the weather, the things that make you feel nervous or unsettled. Just stay away from that. Seriously, I don't even watch the news when CNN and all that comes in. I'm like, I can't. I can only absorb so much. It just becomes overwhelming, right? And you're like, what other tragic bullshit is going to go down today? I can't even be having it. I'm going to go for a drive-by and a booty call. like, like I can't. It's too much. Yeah, even when I think about it, it's like I'll get flash warnings and on my thing, and I'll catch the whole sentence, and all of a sudden my mood will shift for a minute because I can't believe stuff is going on. So really stay away from that kind of media. It's terrible right now. Judgment, yeah, I feel like a few of you are going to be giving some people the boot for someone new because you do have admirers, especially the Ace of Swords and the 4 of Cups. I feel like I love the 4 of Cups. I feel like it's perfectly balanced. It's very celebratory. It's very people coming together. And because you're in groups now like this, you're going to have admirers that are friends of friends that are watching you. So then they start following you on social media. They start checking up on you, seeing what you're doing, looking at your pictures, talking to their friends about you, and anybody in the periphery that knows what you're up to, what's going on, what your likes are, what your interests are, things like that, what your possible interest in them can be, stuff like that for sure. And I feel like there's a lot of people in your office or school as well that are watching you. I see a lot of people at university and also in high schools too. People in some of your same classrooms really looking at you. They're in a diagonal formation to you so they can see you, and I see them, yeah, like sketching you even. Nothing creepy, just you're very interesting to them. Some people are very compelling to others. It can be physical, it can be the tone of your voice, it can be the way you move, the way you dress, all those things. So yeah, it's lovely. They're definitely checking you out. So, just be your natural self and be hanging out and doing your work. And I feel like quite a few are going to approach you, especially with the Ace of Swords. I feel like a lot of them have been watching you for a long time and they're like, okay, enough. I got to cut through this bullshit and talk to this person and live in the real world. Because what happens is so many people live in a virtual world where they can watch you on Instagram, they can watch you on Facebook, they can watch you on any social media, and they feel like they're connected to you and they know you, but you don't get that added bonus of an actual one-on-one. And there's nothing like a flesh and blood connection, right? Where even though we're spiritual beings attempting to be human, we still would like to. We don't want to live in a false reality on social media. We want to connect and talk to one another, right? And eventually hug them and snuggle them and love them up for sure. And I feel like, yeah, you're moving away. Quite a few of you are moving away from relationship right now that you've had doubts with for a while, and you're like, you're starting to see evidence of waning interest because the significant other that you're involved in right now, they're taking you for granted, And so they're feigning boredness, aloofness, and it's pissing you off because that's basically saying, them saying, oh, I could do better. What, the same old type of thing. And you're like, well, guess what? There's the bus. You get on it and drive off the nearest cliff because I value myself. I know who I am. I don't need some bored, like, dude in his sweatpants looking like he just climbed out of a homeless shelter with food stuck all over him. It's like, yeah, you're a winner. But what this person has been doing too for quite some time, this is just a select few of you, has been using negative reinforcement to keep you with him, like putting you down so he feels better about himself, and it puts some doubts in your head. But that kind of person is an absolute garbage person. That's a person who has low self-esteem, and they want to drag others down to their level or even beneath them so they can feel like they have some kind of control over you. You ever be with those people that you'll say something and it'll be funny as hell and you're laughing and they'll be like, what's so funny about that? I've seen people in the park do that to each other, and I'm like, right then I would be like, peace out and walk away. I even know if I'm around people, because every once in a while Ian, he's the oldest male in his family of all males, and he can tend to try to correct things, and as soon as that happens I stop speaking, and that lets him know that, guess what, that's your point of view. That doesn't mean it's necessarily right. It's an insulting way to treat other people, and you're getting tired of that, so you're moving on up, and you have a lot of potential suitors out there, which is really nice. And they're quite a few of them are really good looking, and they're European, they're Irish. They're Irish, they're Ukrainian, they're from all over, Indian, just very beautiful, cultured people, you know, they just like your style. This is trying to flip out. Say, not for you. That pertains back to you people that you're on the tail end of relationships and you're feeling it. You feel icky, you feel tired, you feel drained, you feel like there's all levels of abusive relationships of people, taking you for granted. When they see you, they don't have a sheer look of enthusiasm and love for you. That's a problem in itself. You know what I mean? If somebody isn't like jazzed out of their goddamn mind, golden retriever style to see you, then see you later. You don't need, who's that depressed donkey? Eeyore? Yeah, drive by Eeyore? Yeah, like, like you show up and that's how they look at you. You're like, oh yeah, now it's time for pin the tail on the motherfucking donkey. Bomb, peace out. Yeah, you know that, like, oh, you again, look. I see people do that to each other and I get like infuriated. Excuse my language. I feel this so strongly right now that a lot of you have put up with so much shit for so long, and you have this swathe of gorgeous admirers coming toward you. That's another reason this person is acting up, because they know your potential, they know your high value, your uniqueness, and they're fearful. So they're trying to like pollute your whole mind frame. So get away from them so you can have all the beautiful, gorgeous people that love you, want to snuggle you and cuddle you and take you places and nourish your soul. Anything I want you to read up, I want you to watch Jake Ducey. I want you to watch anybody on YouTube that is like self-help gurus and let you know and brings up your vibration, because I feel like you start to do that and then some people deplete it from you, so then you start to have doubts. Don't get on that cycle of up, down, just up, 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 up. Hi, garbage people that are just polluted in their own thinking. Get the hell away so you can shine, because you're right on that precipice. You really, really are. You're right there. It's so beautiful, the Earthkeeper. And you know, your guides are going to start to connect too. I feel this 100%. When you people connect to me and you do your comments and your messages, right away when I start writing down and connecting and I'm thinking of you and your scenarios and what's going on, I absolutely 100% believe that my guides then get in contact with your guides, because they're all in that same essence stream of love, help, abundance, connection, the electricity, everything that will get your attention and get you get you on that track and just turn that. I feel like it's just, like a safe door. It's that thing. I feel like it's a notch at a time to get that door open. And I feel like our guides all connect. They like hop, skip. They talk to each other. Oh, let's see if we can do this for Aaron. Let's see if we can do this for Susan. And that's what the council is. That council is the group that is all together working for the greater good of everybody. And I feel like when I start interconnecting with you, that my guides are in contact with yours, then you start getting your stronger messages to value yourself, love yourself, raise your vibration, because all these beautiful abundances are all surrounding you, just waiting to come in and just clearing those blockages for you and helping you by saying the second you wake up, you expect it, you believe it, you're ready for it. Hell yeah. So if that's you guys, do it. Anything that doesn't make you feel great, see you later. Right on, like right now. November is the time for sure. So if you guys are new, don't forget to press like and subscribe, boom, and the bell down there, so that will give you all the notifications for the new videos. All my links are below too for private reads and everything down there, the Etsy store, Patreon page, all the good stuff. So let's get on to the Gatherer. Yeah, I feel like this is so harvest season. November is just like, it's gonna rain. I have to take it easy because I don't even really need sleep like a normal human being anymore. I don't know what's going on, but then all of a sudden, like today at the park, I had an issue. I was so psyched to answer all the comments, do this and that, and I just ran in the kitchen. I had like a couple bites of some, I think it was like sun-dried tomatoes and quinoa, and it's because I drank so much coffee. You know, you drink coffee and you feel full, and then all of a sudden I got to the park and I was like, boom. Yeah, treat your body well. I'm hearing everybody too. Take a look at your diet. Take it easy on salt and sugar. Really, if you can get your multivitamins, start to get multivitamins. Please, please, please do that. There's a problem with a lot of people this time of year with iron deficiencies and B12s. B12s, if I could only have one vitamin, it would be the Bs. The Bs just, they're the brain. They're it's just a vitamin that has always helped me and my family the most. It really is like, yeah, we need that. It's the thought process, especially when we have maybe quite not enough sleep or the diet's a little lacking. It's the most helpful in our cerebral area. We definitely need those Bs, so get them. So let's see, are they thinking about me? Ooh, the Fool, nice. I love the Fool, it's my favorite card. Yeah, yeah, Ace of Wands. Ooh, this is really good. You guys are going on a trip, I just heard too. You're going to go on a trip to some place you've never been before. Quite a few of you. You're going to get invites or you just bought tickets. You're going to see a city, a town, or a country you've never seen before. Nine of Swords. The person that's thinking of you is actually losing sleep over not being able to connect with you. Letting go of the old. This is very important right now for us ushering in this new love, these new relationships, these new friendships. Because I feel for a lot of people too, there's a lot of new same-sex friendships coming in that you're establishing later in life, and you're so jazzed, whether it's on the internet or not, you're having very strong connections with these people. They're your tribe, you're really meshing, and it's really, you're really fortifying your friendships, and like on a daily basis, you're talking about things, you're excited. They are excellent listeners, therefore you're excellent listeners to them too. The person that's thinking about you, this is a combination of a bunch of stuff. I hear a lot at once. This is exes. This is current workmates. This is people that you've met on the internet. Potential people that are gonna. Some of you on dating sites. I see somebody is like, they're afraid to approach you. They're like up at night. They're paralyzed by fear because they feel that they're going to be rejected or they're going to look silly. Male egos are very fragile. I feel like females can bounce back a little bit better. It's just one of those things that I feel like we're more accepting of ourselves, even though we can have hang-ups about body types and all kinds of stuff like that. It's different. I feel like we have a higher resiliency where men once bit and they stay back for a while. So yeah. And then, but here with the Ace of Swords and the Fool, I feel like you're going to go full hog on cool new experiences. Like you feel like you have a renewed life force. I keep hearing like renewed life force. Like you're really ready to go out there and meet some fun challenges. And they're not even challenges, they're just experiences now. And the mother effing king of them all is now when you're out there and you're doing things, instead of things seeming like obstacles or pains in the ass, they seem like opportunities, and they're becoming opportunities, and they're becoming lucrative opportunities, and you're putting the fire and the action behind that, and you're actually actively seeking out as an opportunity, making money from it. Somebody says something before and you just be like, what is that piece of garbage or whatever? Now your brain goes, oh my God, that makes sense. If that was implemented in this specific place, that could make a lot of money. That could ease the way for this ABC. You're starting these building blocks, connective tissues, or you know, like how the brain has dendrites. It's like that. You're just connecting. You're seeing opportunities everywhere. With somebody just expressing something, in artwork hugely. Art is going to be a big creative force for you to be able to navigate these mazes, because you're on fire when it comes to finding opportunities and implementing them, and it's amazing, and it's making you very attractive. And the people that are attracted to you are really light-spirited, fun, adventurous, outdoorsy, like the kind that go to Burning Man, they go to concerts. They're free thinkers, they're light, they're non-judgmental, they're They're artists, poets. They're really, really beautiful people. And they're watching the internet again. They're watching the stuff, your posts, stuff like that. They really like it. These are friends of friends too, I feel like. And funnily enough, just people in your close circle network. I have some friends of friends, coworkers, stuff like that. But another big heavy thing is students as well. These are other students in your universities and stuff that are just sort of watching you, and they see you on campus, things like that. But yeah, you're attracting the right type of person now. And yeah, some of them, poets and writers, they're almost tortured because their brain is continually pumping out ideas and messages, and it's trying to formulate. So sometimes they almost miss out on the rest of the world, even when they're walking around, because their brain is formulating stories, poems, everything like that. I have to be careful to shut that off in my connections too when I go out in public, so I'm not just Alice in Wonderland. You know what I mean? We got to be in the real world as well. You know what I mean? But I keep hearing you're like a master balancer of elemental forces. You're the perfect mix of fire. You're the perfect mix of air and thought. You're the perfect balance of earth. You're the perfect balance of all the elements, and you're putting your stuff so you're grounded, yet you're galvanized to do your work and find out solutions and opportunities. But yeah, you're like a master opportunity. Whoop. I knew she was going to do it. She was going to scare herself. You're a master opportunity seeker, and you're going to make some serious money off it. And you're also going to be attracting really cool dudes, like James Franco type dudes. They're like Renaissance men. They're cute, fun. They're cute, funny originals, and they could care less what anybody thinks because they are just in their element as their little perfect little human being that just wants to get out there and create. So that's amazing, you guys. Let's get you an oracle card. What do you think of that, Winter? You like James Franco? I love him, by the way. That's funny that he popped in my head because even in real life, you see him in Brooklyn just sitting on his little stoop. He's like, yeah, I'm James Franco. He goes, there's this funny meme that says, I'm James, James Franco, and he's just sitting there and he's holding a cat and he goes, sometimes I get sad and sometimes I get a little down. But then my cat looks at me and says, hey, dude, you're James Franco. And then we dance. And then it's like, that's like me. And when she's at the end of the bed, I'm like, you want to dance? And she'll actually sit up and look at me, and I trip out in my head, and I'm like, if she starts dancing like the Cheshire Cat, I'm calling 911 and I'm checking in. It's okay. Co-create. That's why your opportunities are coming so fast and furious, because you're feeding off these little ideas that are bouncing around, and once they register, they start to register in your head, and it's funny. It's like a domino. It's like, well, if this did this, and this did this, and this did this, and it's just an idea after idea after idea, and then boom, formula, and you're getting that over and over and over. But it's helping when you have those other people that activate these synapses because they're similar. They're on your frequency. They're joyous. They're light, airy, happy, free, connected, and they're willing to co-create. That's a problem. A lot of people want the reins of power, as it were. You ever see a director try to direct an actress and she's giving it all, but he's being a dick because he's in a bad mood, and then she's exhausted, and then they have people just, and it does like that. That's what happens in a lot of co-creations. People can't share the power. They have their own vision, but you can meld beautifully with anybody right now, and then you just work through it, and it's like you're molten lava, and you're just finding your area, and then boom, the idea comes, and boom, and it's continuous, and you just have all these fans that are watching you, and they're trying to connect and come into your orbit because you're just like, wee, you're Serafina Piccola, you're everywhere. It's amazing. So I'm so excited for you guys. Beautiful. So if you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe and press the notification button, the little bell, so you'll get all the notifications, and all my links are down below. Woo-hoo. They're all down below, so you can get all the things on Reads and the Etsy store and things like that. And I appreciate you guys, and I love you. I love you so, so much. Thank you for commenting. And you guys start commenting if you think there are people that are watching you, because what happens is we connect and I start answering your comments. I do believe 100% our guides start to get together to make things happen for you. Their whole purpose is to guide, correct, align, and enlighten. That's it. Who doesn't want that? I want that. She wants that. James Franco wants that. I love you guys. Peace out. Mwah. Happy weekend.